Please start the recording and all.
Okay, sir. I'll start. Okay, sir. We can start, sir.
Yes, Soumyaranjan, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Please introduce yourself to the board.
So my name is Soumyaranjan Pradhan. I was born in Devagar district and brought up in Pallada subdivision of Angul district. After that, I have done my graduation in mechanical engineering from NIT Rourkela, and I have 1 year of job experience in Hero Motorcorp, that is an automobile sector in Gurgaon. And after that, I have been preparing for civil services. And in the meanwhile, I have been blessed to be in Odisha Administrative Services for the last 2.5 months, and currently I am undergoing the training for that.
Okay, I see that you have done engineering. That was a different field altogether, and after that you jumped to civil services, and you are in civil services in fact already. Why civil services first of all? After engineering, why civil services?
So from the district, from the background where I come from, the civil servants matter the most. The collector, the district agriculture officer, district education officer, district welfare officer, they play a major role in the people's life, and their decisions directly impact the people's life. That's why that is what has drawn me to this field. Because after trying engineering, when I was contemplating for a career for the next 35 years, this was my first choice to be a civil servant.
Okay, then see, as you are already placed as a civil servant, I see that all you said that can be done as a Odisha civil servant also. Why do you want to change again? What is it that you can't do as a Odisha civil servant, and that's why you're interested for national civil service?
So when I started the preparation, my goal was to become an Indian Administrative Service Officer. I am blessed, in fact, to be in Odisha Administrative Service, which has boosted my confidence and given me the hands-on experience what is going on in the field. Yes, sir. Odisha Civil Services is a perfect civil service. So IAS provides the opportunity to work for the central government, and it also provides the platform to be in touch with the batchmates from other services as well, and we can contribute across states, across services, which can be better for service delivery. Which we can learn the best practices from each other.
Would you like to give an example of 2-3 best practices that you can't do in Odisha civil service?
Sir, in Odisha civil services also we can learn each other. So just that the Indian civil services, the fraternity is bigger, the network is bigger, the circle is bigger, and it has been spread across the states. So it's just a greater network.
Is it because of only fraternity that you want to join Indian civil services?
So it has been the opportunity to work in the central government as well. But for the time being, this has been on my mind also.
Soumya, don't you think you are too young to be an IAS officer? When I am saying this, I have things like decision taking, handling a big community, handling a district, and all these things in my mind. I am saying, aren't you too young to be an IAS officer?
Sir, I agree to the fact that wisdom comes with experience. But sir, I think as the government is allowing us to be a civil servant at the age of 21 only after graduation, so I have been in the correct line, I think. And we will be undergoing 2 years of probation and after that we will gradually be shifting from other positions like SDM, then DM, etc., which has been a good career progression, and I will be able to handle when I will reach the positions in the subsequent years. I will learn a lot in the district training as well.
Only because the government allows you to write civil services exam at the age of 21, you think you should be an IAS officer. And what about the experiences? What about the exposure and all? Do you think you are experienced enough to deal with a position like this? Do you know the country? Are you familiar with the vastness of the country, diversity of the country, and so many significant unique characteristics of the country, and for which you think that you can be an IAS officer? Or you should take some more time to collect some more experience, grow up a little more, then come to civil services? What do you think?
So in my graduation years, I have traveled some of the areas of the countries. I have in visits only, and after that I have worked in Haryana for 11 months. And so I have seen so in my last 20 to 24 to 25 years, I have been grown up in Odisha, and I know the problems well. So I think that I am well versed with this country to be a civil servant, and with proper training, I will be able to handle the demands of the people, the expectations of the people which they have from a civil servant. So, for example, during the recent elections, I came to know about what are people expecting, how is the process going on. It is a serious process, and it is the pride of democracy. So, yes, sir, there is a lot to learn, and I will be learning in the process.
Okay. You have been working as a civil servant for 5 months now, right?
So for 2 to 3 months.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
For 2.5 months, sir.
2.5 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you talk about one or two problems that you identified and you are willing to work for it already during these 2.5 months?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have seen that in my training in the Tahsil office, the Vasundhara scheme for landless is going on. But sir, the process is time taking now. The current process, and the beneficiaries identification to the final getting their lands, it takes time actually. And sir, and also I have gone through the cases during the sub collector office, and the process are taking actually time. In the meanwhile, I have also seen that the e-governance has been implemented in the cases of lease, mutation, alienation, which has hastened the process. And in case of miscellaneous certificate obtaining also. So when I will be given responsibility, I will try to implement e-governance more and more. I will suggest some measures like reducing the proclamation period, and basically minimizing the paperwork, and reaching to people more and more, so that we can know their problems in advance, and we can design the software which will be streamlining the process and thereby reducing the time period taken for it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Soumya, can you please tell me what are the major challenges Odisha is facing nowadays, and particularly to your district, what are the major challenges?
Sir, if I talk about my district in particular, that is the Urban district.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, the district, so the main problem which comes to my mind is the economy of the district. The GDP of the district is comparatively low compared to the coastal districts. So the reason has been the sole income source of my people has been agriculture only, or the services sector, in that too only in the government enterprises. There are actually no private companies, and there has been no major industries in my districts. So, sir, I will identify it as a problem. The second problem will be the malnutrition. so government has been running several programs, but there are since problems like early marriages and malnutrition among children, which will take some years to be overcome, but it has been a problem since decades. So the third sector I will identify as the educational awareness. Actually, the people are studying in the schools up to the age of 14 years, up to 10th, because they know, and the government is provide incentives for that as well. But after that, they have no clue what to do with the future careers prospects. After maybe they are going for plus two, some are going for ITI, but majorly they are not landing in the formal jobs, and they have been working in the informal sectors, which they are going through the stress as well, the financial stress and the social stress as well.
Okay, Soumya, as you know that Odisha is a mineral rich state in the country and one of the largest contributor to iron or aluminium. So, despite Odisha is a mineral rich state in the country, why Odisha is lacking in manufacturing industries? What are the problem we are actually lacking in our state, and what are the steps we need to take to improve our manufacturing industries?
As a state, we have been blessed with plenty of natural resources. So we are the leading producer of iron and manganese, chromite, bauxite in the country, and the second highest in coal and nickel. So and the heavy industries work has been started by the government since the 1960s, and recently also the Tata, Vedanta, Jindal, they are also leading this industry. So the heavy industries are there in our state. Yes, there can be more, but they are there. So, but I feel that the absence of downstream and ancillary industries has not been up to our expectation, which will lead to more employment for the people, because they will provide more jobs to the people, which will for the skilled, unskilled, and semi-skilled workers, which will benefit our economy, and the mines in our state can be replicated into gross domestic state product.
Okay. Soumya, and another major challenge Odisha is facing the Myost problem, and particularly in the tribal area. So, how do you think that we can tackle this Myost problem in Odisha?
Sir, I am proud of the fact that Odisha government has been doing very well for tackling the Maoist problem for the last 5 years. So, in the time we have approached the surrender and rehabilitation policy. We are following the carrot and stick approach. As a carrot, we have adopted surrender and rehabilitation policy. The major cadre members of the Odisha group of Maoists have been surrendering for the last 2 or 3 years, and the pandemic has also brought some financial crisis for the cadres as well, for which the extremism program has been going down. And so, as BSF and CIA and CRPF are also employed for the people who are not surrendering, who are still influencing the tribal people to join them. And so we are also doing infrastructure work in areas like Soumyaranjan, where we have connected them through bridge over the Guru Priya River, and we are having health and education infrastructure in the riverine island, so that it has been the good steps for reducing the loss.
Recently, you might heard about the economic crisis in Sri Lanka. Why this economic crisis happened in Sri Lanka? What are the major cause behind this economic crisis?
So Sri Lanka has been a war-torn country since they got independent, and it got over in 2009. But after that, during the last decade, the economic decisions they have taken has been more of a populist measure, and they haven't tried to loan from IMF and gone from any structural adjustments for that reason. And the COVID-19 pandemic and the Easter attacks in 2019 contributed to the downfall of tourism sector as well. and the forceful and the recent implementation of organic farming has been a blow to the agricultural income. Therefore, the population of island nation could not sustain the external debts as well.
Okay, and one of the major concern right now in the world is the Russia-Ukraine war, and US is threatening us to stop importing oil from Russia. Do you think that if we are going for the oil import from Russia, is it going to hamper the India-US relationship?
Since our independence, we have been following the policy of strategic autonomy, keeping our national interest in mind. And recently, the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman had said that when we are importing oil from Russia in interest of our public demand, because the inflation is high in the world market, then we are doing nothing wrong. Because Russia has been our traditional partner, and we are also taking the neutral stance. We are standing for the peace, as our external affairs minister has said. So yes, sir, America as a power has been pressurizing us to take a stand. But I think, sir, the stand of Indian government in particular in this case has been a time proven for now.
Okay. Yeah, over to you, sir.
Soumya, which cadre you are interested in?
Sir, in my form, I have played Odisha as my first choice.
Okay, any specific reason for that?
Sir, being born and brought up in Odisha and it being my native district, so it is natural for me to select Odisha as
then I think you should be happy with Odisha Civil Services. A moment ago you said you want national exposure, you want bigger network, you wanted bigger fraternity. Now you are saying you want to stay in Odisha.
Sir, Odisha as a cadre also provides the opportunity to work for the people at the ground level. Because if we say states like Gujarat and Maharashtra, they have already reached some sort of economic level, some sort of awareness, which hasn't been in Odisha. So, sir, so if I see the thinking which I have come to this service is the purpose is served in Odisha well, and sir, Odisha civil service has been a good service for me, a good exposure for me. So, sir, but as I am aspiring more to work as a so work in the central and as in the state level as well.
Okay. Anyway, like whatever cadre it may be, suppose you get your get the cadre that you want, or any other cadre, doesn't matter. Which specific department you would love to work in?
So I'll be interested to work for the MSMEs and for the startup sectors, because they are the budding entrepreneurs, and I have seen them growing in our college as well, in which the startup like Hobbies has been successful in Odisha and in the Indian as well to raise some funds and to give employment to young people like us. And sir, secondly, I'm eager to work in the educational field as well, in the primary, upper primary, and higher secondary level, in which we have to raise some career counseling programs from the high school level itself, so that people know what they are going to do with their studies, with their skilling, and with their lives when they get mature, when they come out of the teens.
Okay, if a decision is taken that okay, Soumya is an intelligent officer, so let's have it in MHRD, like education department, then
Sir, in the higher education sector, we are also yet to bring the reforms suggested by National Education Policy. And sir, I think that the policy suggestions have been very good. In which the people can opt for humanities subject while reading science subjects. They can get certificate courses even while dropping out. So that since the plans has been proper, but the implementation is awaiting so far. So I will be eager to implement it at the level so that the people of Odisha, human resource in particular, can be utilized for the development of 21st century.
Okay. What are the major differences between the new education policy of 1986 and 2020? Major differences.
Sir, the new education policy has brought into fore the early childhood care and education as the first structure. In the upper primary level, it has introduced skilling of the students from the 6th class onwards, so that even if they are dropping out after the school level, they will have something to do with their own employment. And so in the higher education department, it has the structuring is so that Higher Education Council of India will be set up, and it will be allowed to have intermediate courses, like if someone is dropping out after 1 year or 2 years, he will be offered a bridge course to do the later part in whenever he wishes. This has been the steps which will bring forward our education in the next century.
2020 NEP has been greatly inspired by one act, Indian Act that passed in 2009. What is that act? Do you know about it?
Sir, it is Right to Education Act.
What does that say?
Right to Education Act provides that the state will provide the facilities for the compulsory free and compulsory education for the children aged 6 to 14 years in the schools, and so they will provide free education. It has been done.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So Soumya, in your profile, you have mentioned that you have conducted sanitation mission. Okay. Sanitation program in the district before Swachh Bharat mission launched. So, do you think that Swachh Bharat mission we have started from almost 5-6 years back? Still, there is some improvement need to be done, and still people are not much more. Do you think that we have achieved whatever the mission goal in Swachh Bharat? Have India 100% achieved that, or any challenges are there? Or if any challenges are there, what we need to do to achieve that 100%?
So India has been largely successful. Also, there has been sporadic exceptions, but India has been largely successful to be fundamentation free. And particularly, sir, our state has been successful in 100% ODM. The government has been able to bring behavior change among people. It has built the infrastructure needed, the toilets in particular, in every homes, so that the villages can be open defecation free. And so after achieving the goal also, we are launching Open Defecation Free Plus, in which we are taking care of the sanitation of the whole village as well. We are making the leach pits and we are bringing the drainage systems, and we are integrating the sanitation missions in the school curriculums as well. So in the last 4 to 5 years, there has been changes at the ground. Yes, sir, we have a long way to go to achieve it in full speed. But sir, there have been a lot of changes.
But Soumya, actually, if you see in the ground, people already, government already built the toilet for the people in their home, but people are not using. They are used for something else, maybe storage room or something. In the many villages, the survey has came that whatever the toilet used for in the Swachh Bharat mission, many of the toilets are not used. So in that case, how can you we can achieve the goal? People should use this toilet. Any proper action plan government should be taken, and if so, what is your suggestion? How can we tackle this challenge?
So this is the case where we have to bring the behavioral change of the people at the ground level. the government has gone for mass campaigning. It has produced movies for this as well. Drawings and posters have been painted on the walls to bring awareness. But the thing is, the personal awareness is utmost. When one member in the family presses for the other members to use the toilet built for them, it will actually bring the town level change. And we are expecting the youth and the women in particular to bring this change. So the Anganwadi workers, the ASA armies, they have been raising awareness for this. And this has been the process, and we'll implementing it much more at much more vigor to achieve our mission.
Okay. Yes, sir. So, Soumya, one more question. You have in your hobbies, you mentioned yoga and also cycling. So, these two hobby, how it will help in your civil service journey?
So, firstly, I'll be implementing meditation in my regular habits, so that when I'm facing any challenges, the challenges are to be faced in every service, in every profession. But I'll be more ready, because the meditation creates an atmosphere in which we will be proactive instead of reactive, so that we analyze the situation well and then react. And it has been very helpful during my preparation time as well. And so cycling has been a good physical exercise, also a form of relaxing atmosphere providing activity for me, because it is cheaper as a hobby, and as we have been doing it from the childhood, we can visit the places, the nearby places as picnic spots, and it has been a good recreation and the physical activity as well. Which has been also promoted by the Western countries now, and so also it is environment friendly to somewhere, so that so I consider it as a good factor in my future as well.
Okay, you have anthropology optional, right? So,
Yes.
Being a mechanical engineer, why you choose anthropology, and how this anthropology will help in this civil service journey?
So initially, I will accept that when I was considering the optionals, I took anthropology because it has 30% of biology, which will be which I thought that I will take help of my younger brother, so that I will understand it quite well. But sir, it has been an eye-opening journey for me after reading the optionals, because it included the evolution of mankind to the evolution of culture, which has been the vehicle of our progress, and it has also highlighted the tribes of the world and the diversities of India, which has been the case. We can bring growth, development, and conservation come development in the concerted effort. It has been the message of anthropology for me.
Okay, over to you, sir. Yeah, sir, over to you. Sadan, sir.
Yes, Soumya.
Yes, sir.
Did you read today's newspaper?
Sorry,
No,
sir.
you could not.
I haven't been through today's newspaper.
Okay, you didn't get time to get the news today?
Yeah, yes, sir. I have gone through the news in the Google articles, and the article suggested by Google.
Is it a fact that youngsters are no more reading newspaper? They are depending on gadgets more often.
Sir, actually, in my case, it has been that where I stay, the English newspaper, the retailer point is some distance, so I am not able to fetch it. So, but I will agree to the fact that also the digital media has taken over people's lives. people prefer it watching on YouTube and some digital news applications, the Twitter as well, to raise their opinions. So yes, sir, the impact of newspaper hasn't been what it was in the 1970s or 80s, but sir, it is still it is still a good way to communicate our opinion.
Okay, tell me two or three things by which you want to contribute as an IAS officer. 2-3 significant things that you want to do if appointed as an IAS officer.
So firstly, I will work with my colleagues to bring forward an atmosphere in which the people-centric governance will be there. All the efforts will be to minimize the time required for the paperwork processes. So because I have marked in my short experience that it has been cumbersome experience for the staff as well to pass the files in multiple departments for multiple revisions. Yes, sir, they are there for the transparency and the accountability part. But sir, we can reduce them using e-governance. That will be my first priority. And sir, after that, we can take up the social issues of women, children, and the differently able people who and the widows, sir, who have been given social security, the pension schemes by government, but sir, it hasn't been a permanent solution so far, and the remuneration given to them is also less to sustain them for a month. So sir, we will devise a scheme so that they will be provided some meaningful work, and they can have some income for them, the extra income for them. And so the third will be, I will be focusing on the sports and the extracurricular activities in the school and after school days, so that in sports, Odisha government has been focusing well, and it will bring medals and pride for our country as well. So for that, we have to motivate the students for extracurricular activities, and we have to give them enough support, enough scholarships as we give them in the academics, so that they'll be interested in taking up sports as a career.
For this one thing, that is extracurricular activity and sports and all that you mentioned, new education policy makes a provision to make that a significant part of curriculum. In the sense, if somebody is interested in cricket can be one of the papers in undergraduate studies. Now, when we have this great ambitions and all, a lot of confusion also comes with that. Confusion regarding implementation, how to facilitate, and how far we can implement this kind of policy. What is your take on this? Can we really have extracurricular activities as part of the curriculum, and students would be evaluated for that? That would be a significant part of their syllabus, even their undergraduate studies, their PG also, according to the new education policy. Can we implement this? What do you think? Or we should just say that NEP has been very much ambitious, and it cannot be, it's not really possible.
Yes, sir. The extracurricular activities can be brought into the fold of academic curriculum as well. But sir, we have to take care of the fact that there is no craving for early income. Like in our colleges, I have seen that the parents expect that their child will have some income after doing BTech or after doing MBBS or after some graduation studies. But sir, we have to bring this. We have to bring
that
this.
Problem is no more there. Like the parents not willing their students to play. That problem is no more there, because extracurricular activities like sports, specifically sports, will be part of the curriculum according to NEP. Suppose you are doing undergraduate studies in anthropology. One or two papers you can choose from sports also. So that part is taken care of. Still, I am asking, can we implement this? Is it possible to implement? Can we make it so multidisciplinary that our syllabus would have some papers from sports as well?
So, sir, I accept that it has been a visionary direction in particular, sir, because we are thinking NEP as a policy for the next 50 years or so. Yeah, so yes, sir. If we are able to provide the infrastructure and the capital investment in that, we have been. If we raise enough teaching potential in the trainers, in the physical trainers, then we can certainly implement it. We can start from the institutions of national importance first, and we can then go on to the rest of the colleges and then the schools. So in this way, we can have this impact in a gradual manner. If it is not possible at this moment, so we can do a small start, and it will reap its effect, I think.
Okay, Soumya, nice talking to you. I am done. If sir wants to talk.
Soumya, one question from my side. Recently, you might have heard about there is a change in government in Pakistan. Okay, and is it going to affect the India-Pakistan relationship, or is it going to a better relationship if there is a change in the government? So, what is your thought on this? Whether we have a better relationship in future, or it is going to much more worse than before?
So whenever a new regime comes, actually there is opportunity to move the talk forward. And so in his tenure, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, had said some things about India which had upset our Indian government. So, sir, when the new regime comes, there is actually an opportunity. When the new leader will bring the talk forward, we can have the fledgling relations, and we will move forward in this.
Okay. And one more last question from my side. So, government is come with proposal lateral entry in the civil service. So, do you think that by bypassing this recruitment process, we are going through a recruitment process appearing from UPSC and like join the civil service, and people directly coming through the back door or lateral entry? Do you think that this lateral entry is a good step, or we are bypassing the recruitment process?
So, in my opinion, lateral entry has been a good step taken by the government, because lateral entry brings the experts in the specific fields who have experience in that particular field for say 20 to 25 years. They will bring something to the table from the private sector, from the best practices across world, which will be helpful to our government. At the same time, we are also having the regular bureaucrats who have been recruited by the regular recruitment process, which bring in experience. They know the country in detail, and they have been with the people for this much years. So, sir, their collaboration will be a boon for this country. Will be having the experience and the specific knowledge, the innovation as well.
Okay, thank you, Soumya. That is all from my side also. Yes, sir. So that is all.
Thank you, sir.
Soumya.
Thank you.